Hello guys, welcome to the video, and today I'm going to talk about karmic control planets and the importance of Rahu and Ketu in our lives. Um, Karmic control planets and Rahu Ketu are the reason we are born, in this life. Ketu and its dispositor become the inlet of our past life karma, and Rahu and its dispositor become the distributor of that karma, whether it is good or bad karma in our current life. So, Rahu and Ketu dispositors, wherever they're placed in like one house together, they create this Maha yoga, which gives you like rise, sudden rise, and makes you like world famous, not just like one or two country. I'm talking about world famous. Especially if the dispositors or Rahu or Ketu are placed in Kendra and Trikona, they give you like everlasting fame. But if the Rahu and Ketu and dispositors are placed in Dusthana houses, then they give you like sudden rise, but then suddenly bad happen in your life. So as you can see on the screen, which are like Kendra and Trikona houses, and which are like Dusthana houses. So 6, 8, and 12, they are like bad houses. I would not say bad, but they are Dusthana houses. All right, let's take a look at some of the horoscopes. So the first horoscope is like Mike Tyson. Everybody knows about him. His Ketu is placed in first house, in seventh Rashi, and his Rahu is placed in seventh house, first Rashi. So Mars and Venus become his karmic control planets, and Mars and Venus are placed in 8th house, Dusthana house. So that's why in 90s Mike Tyson probably the highest paid athlete in the world. He made like at that time almost $300 million, which is equivalent to like $1 billion in today's time. But he lost it all because his karmic control planets are placed in 8th house. All right. Okay, for this concept, if the birth time is accurate, we can give you like we can tell the exact outcome of the like karmic control planets. But if you don't have the accurate birth time, no matter what, if the karmic control planets are placed in any house, they are gonna give you rise in one time in your life. Okay, so let's take a look at another birth chart. Rani Lakshmibai. So I was watching Kangana Ranaut, Jhansi Ki Rani movie on like Amazon Prime. So I was like interested in Jhansi Ki Rani. I looked at her birth chart, and her karmic control planet were placed in one house. So let's see. So Rahu is placed in 8th house in Dusthana, and in second Rashi, and Ketu is placed in second house in 8th Rashi. So her karmic control planets become Mars and Venus. They are placed in second house, Mars and Venus, as you can see. But her Rahu is placed in 8th house, Dusthana. So that's why she rose to fame. She became like like the leader of that part of the world at the age of 25. I mean, this is very, very young. And by the age of, I believe, like 27 or 28, she died during the battle, you know. So Mars and Venus are her karmic control planet. All right, so the next Rashi is Barack Obama. So in his birth chart, his karmic control planets are not placed together. Okay, if they're not, if your karmic control planets are not placed together, but they're aspecting each other, then it becomes sometimes a difficult position. It becomes like a tug of war, you know. But they give you like rise in your career. So his Rahu is placed in 5th house. Ketu is placed in, I mean, not 5th house, 5th Rashi, and Ketu is placed in 11th Rashi. We don't know the exact birth time of Barack Obama, but his karmic control planet, you know, become Sun and Saturn. I don't know if the Rahu is placed in actually like 8th house or 9th house or 7th house, but let's stick with the given birth time, given birth chart. So Sun and Saturn become his karmic control planet. So Sun and Saturn represent government, authority, leadership. So that's why he became the president of the USA. Okay, so if Mars and Venus are, you know, your karmic control planet, they give you, what is Venus? Venus is like a Hollywood, Bollywood type of fame, you know, luxury, wealth. And Mars is like authority, like army general, you know, or a cult leader. Yes, a cult leader. And any type of leadership role. But in army type of situation. If Sun and Saturn becomes your karmic control planet, Sun and Saturn both, they represent government, authority, leadership, you know, union leadership, authority. But most of the time they represent government. So you would see Sun and Saturn combination in almost all, you know, the leaders in the world. Whether it's your cricket team leader, whether it is your politician, country's leader, or CEO, big CEOs, they have like Sun and Saturn combinations as well. So, all right, let's. So Barack Obama, Sun and Saturn are his like karmic control planets, and they are looking at each other. So that's how he became president. So the next birth chart is Lyndon B Johnson. He was the president of the USA, and if you just Google the top like president of the USA in the history, you would see his name in the, you know, like top 2, or I mean not top 2, top 5, I would say, ranking. So his achievements are great for the country. Okay, so his where is Rahu? Okay, Rahu is placed in 3rd Rashi in 12th house, and Ketu is placed in 9th Rashi in 6th house. So karmic control planet become Mercury and Jupiter, which are placed in 2nd house together. Powerful chart because 5 planets are placed in 1 house. Whenever you see like 5 planets, 4 or 5 or 6 planets are placed in 1 house, they uplift the, you know, horoscope. Plus he has this conjunction, so it's even great. All right, so Andrew Carnegie, probably the first billionaire in the history of the USA. He's known for the builder of the USA, builder of America. Okay, so his wealth was enormous. So his karmic control planets, Rahu is placed in second Rashi in 8th house, and Ketu is placed in 8th Rashi Scorpio in second house. So Mars and Venus are placed together in second house. Second house means wealth, All right, so that's why he was the most wealthiest, one of the most wealthiest persons in the USA at that time. All right, Anand Kumar. So Anand Kumar, everybody knows about Anand Kumar, all the IPS officers and MIT graduates, they know, So I was talking about Mars and Venus and Saturn. Now this is the time I'm going to talk about Mercury and Jupiter, karmic control planet. So what is Mercury? Mercury means like calculation, intellect, intelligence, and business mind, and Jupiter means like information, wisdom, teacher. So Ketu is placed in 3rd Rashi in 10th house. Rahu is placed in 9th Rashi in 4th house. So Mercury and Jupiter become his like karmic control planet, and he's known for being one of the best teachers, gurus, Jupiter in India, right? So also very powerful, birth chart. All right, Melania Trump, the next birth chart. So what I believe, Melania was the reason that Trump became the president. I know Trump has his like sun in the 10th house, which means, authority, government, but his chart is powerful, but not that powerful for becoming the president. He's known for other things, celebrity fame, wealth and real estate wealth. But look at Melania's life. She started from like a small village in somewhere in like Russia, and by the age of like 45 or something, she became the first lady. Started from like different country, and then you're becoming the first lady of the most powerful country in the world. That's something. So let's take a look. So Ketu is placed in 5th house, Rahu is placed in 11th house. 5th Rashi and 11th Rashi, sorry. And Sun and Saturn become her karmic control planet, which are placed in 5th house together. Sun and Saturn, government, authority, leadership role, So she became the first lady, and her karmic control planet, just because of her karmic control planet, she was needed to be put in some type of, government leadership role. So she became the first lady of the most powerful country, Okay, Kanye West. Everybody knows about him. He's famous for his great music, and he won a lot of Grammy awards, and he's probably right now the most richest celebrity in the world. Right now his net worth is what, like $3-4 billion. Okay, so Rahu is placed in sixth house, sixth Rashi, and Ketu is placed in 12th Rashi in 8th house. So Mercury and Jupiter, they both are placed together in one house, which is 10th house. So he's, I already told you, his music, it helps me to meditate. His music is like soul music. So, and he's known for his like clothing line and shoes line. So everybody knows about Kanye West. MS Dhoni. Okay, so he's one of the best and my favorite cricketer in the world. He's loved by all. It doesn't matter if you're from like Australia, England, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Everybody loves him, because he's one of the nicest guy in the game. So Ketu is placed in 10th Rashi and Rahu is placed in 4th Rashi. So Saturn and Moon become his like karmic control planet, and they both are placed in first house. Akbar, the Mughal emperor, very, very powerful shot. So Akbar was probably the only Mughal emperor who was loved by all the people from different caste, different religion, different race, Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Sikh. Everybody loved Akbar the Great. So look at his karmic control planets. So Ketu is placed in 5th Rashi and Rahu is placed in 11th Rashi. So which means his karmic control planets are Sun and Saturn, which are placed in 3rd house. So government, leadership role, authority. Justin Bieber. So his karmic control planets, look at his music. Whether you like him or not, but every time he releases a new song, it becomes, a phenomena in the world. So look at his karmic. His combination is like a little bit deadly, but we don't know the exact birth time of Justin Bieber. So let's take a look. So Ketu is placed in 12th house, which is Dustana. Rahu is placed in 6th house, which is Dustana plus Upachya. So his karmic control planets, Ketu is placed in 2nd Rashi, and Venus, Rahu is placed in Scorpio, 8th Rashi, which becomes Mars. So Mars and Venus are placed in 9th house. So, celebrity type of fame. So Zulfikar Bhutto, he was the prime minister, one of the prime ministers of Pakistan. If you just Google the top leaders in the history of Pakistan, you will see his name is on the 2nd or 3rd, ranking, because he did so much things for the country. But his karmic control planets are placed, and probably this is his right accurate time, because Zulfikar Bhutto, he believed in astrology, and probably astrologers at that time, they knew his exact birth time. So probably this is his like accurate birth time. So his karmic control planet are like, okay, so Rahu is placed in 12th house, second Rashi, and Ketu is placed in Ketu is placed in 8th Rashi, Scorpio, Mars. And Mars and Venus, but they both are in the 6th house together in conjunction. So, you know, they gave him sudden rise and then sudden, you know, court litigations and sudden death. So that's the you know, bad thing about this conjunction or this Maha Yoga. So if the Maha Yoga is formed in Dustana houses, they give you sudden rise and then sudden fall. Very powerful chart. So the next chart is Muhammad Ali Jinnah's, aka Qaid-e-Azam, the founding father of Pakistan. Everybody knows about him. Okay, so his Ketu is placed in 6th Rashi and Rahu is placed in 12th Rashi. Okay. Mercury and Jupiter become his like karmic control planet, which are placed in 10th house. And Mercury and Jupiter, I mean, he was known for his intelligence, he was known for his wisdom, he was known for his, like, you know, guru-like, teacher-like, you know, persona. So he became the founding father, the father of a nation. So what else you want to know about it? So very powerful chart, because as I mentioned earlier, anytime you see like 4 or plus, like 4, 5, 6 planets are placed in one house, your birth chart becomes really extremely powerful. Plus he has this combination, so which is even greater. So that's why his legacy is everlasting. Genghis Khan, very, very extremely powerful. And that's the reason that even after like probably 800 years, I'm talking about Genghis Khan. And everybody knows about Genghis Khan. Even if you ask like 6-year or 7-year-old, he would tell you about Genghis Khan. So first look at the same concept. Look at his 4th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 planets are placed in one house. So 4th house is also your homeland, real estate. So he made the whole world. He conquered the whole world and made his own homeland. And actually that was his dream as well. So Rahu is placed in, let's look at his karmic control planets. Rahu is placed in 1st Rashi and Ketu is placed in 7th Rashi. So Mars and Venus become his karmic control planets, which are placed in 4th house together in conjunction. Okay, one thing I want to mention, that there are like a lot of other people who have or had this type of conjunction or this type of yoga. I don't know about them. I have looked a lot of different celebrities, but I found only these few. And one more thing, in order to get this yoga to be fruitful, either Mahadasha or Antardasha of Rahu or Ketu or the karmic control planets, you know, have to come. Otherwise, this is not going to be fruitful. So let's say if Mars and Venus become your karmic control planets and you have this Mahadasha after like at the age of like 50, then you're gonna get the rise at the age of 50, not before that. So always, see the Mahadasha and Antardasha for the related planets as well. Okay. All right, guys. I hope it helps. This is not the only thing. There are other things in, which create even more powerful yogas in astrology. But this is one thing, and very interesting. Whenever I see any birth chart, I don't know anything about like birth timing. I just look at like Rahu and Ketu and karmic control planets wherever they're placed, in which Rashi, and that's how I get like snapshot prediction. All right, take care.